Hey folks, it's Aardwolf. Welcome. Today we have an unboxing video, and if this seems a little bit awkward, it's because I'm trying out this new tripod. The dish towels that you see in front of you are here to prevent the massive glare that we're getting off the countertop. We'll see if we can come up with a less ridiculous solution for this in the future. But today we are unboxing Deluxe Advanced Squad Leader and some glare. So let's open her up. I'm going to do this from the side, so we'll see how it looks. So this is a standard weight, it feels like, MMP box, but it's a 2-inch box, which is a little bit unusual for MMP. I mean, it's not that weird. They got plenty of games in this size box, but for like GMT and Compass for that matter, this is pretty much the standard box size. Where for MMP, they seem to try to get games in smaller boxes where possible. So let's open her up and see what we got. Of course, Deluxe Squad Leader, or Advanced Squad Leader, reflects back in the day when they released 2 modules, they being Avalon Hill, Hedgerow Hell and Streets of Fire. And it's basically ASL that's rescaled with bigger hexes and with playing with miniatures in mind. So what we have in here, according to the sheet from Multiman, is 1 box and a lid, 8 11x26 deluxe ASL maps A through H, which I want to say are the 8 original ones. There have been some since in various periodicals. 8 sheets of overlays, including 4 identical rubble overlay sheets, and 38 deluxe ASL scenarios. That's a lot of scenarios, but I love scenarios. Scenarios directly give me additional flexibility. So let's take a look at the scenarios. We have DASL1. I think the first one is Streets of Fire, so that's Stalingrad. Hedgerow Hell is Normandy. So we have 1. Berserk is number 2. Let's reposition these so that you can see them. That would be cool. Storming the Factory, number 3. First to Strike. You can tell these are some pretty big scenarios too. These are 3 boards. So the 1 deluxe board is roughly the same scale in terms of map area in the game as a regular ASL board, but it's bigger. It's physically larger. If that makes any sense. You'll see it in a minute. Little Stalingrad is DASL 5. Draconian Measures number 6 with Flame and Shell, which is quite a large area. Although a lot of these are big. So that's something, that is a way in which ASL has evolved over the years. The scenarios have generally gotten shorter and tighter. A lot of these early ASL scenarios, and these definitely count, are large and they take a long time. Like 10 turns for this guy, for example. That seems like a long time for a scenario with that many units. I think that would probably take a significant amount of time to play. So we're into 15 and 16, 17. These would probably be all numeric, would be my guess. So some additional deluxe scenarios popped up, I think, in the general and in, I think, 1 or more of the early either action packs or ASL journals or ASL Digest or whatever it was at the time. There is an online scenario database, Sicilian Midnight with Italians. Seeing a lot of British Germans and American Germans. And, of course, the early ones with the Russians as well. It's always, to this day, bugged me that they are called Russians in ASL rather than Soviets. But that's me being pedantic. And speaking of Americans, here we have some of them. Some more. Cobra King is DASL 33. So we got a lot of scenarios here. 38 scenarios. Intimate War. Mayhem in Manila. Oh, Pacific one. That's interesting. Not sure I remembered that there were Pacific ASL scenarios, although there was no reason why there couldn't be. The game is exactly the same. With the original 2 modules, we got the traditional MMP blank piece of paper. With the original Deluxe ASL modules, you got these vehicle cards. I don't believe those have made a return. They were actually kind of handy. So here's your deluxe overlays. I'm not sure how well you're making out the scale on these things, but they're definitely bigger than the other ones. And here's your rubble. A lot of rubble. I guess for Streets of Fire, maybe you need that. Without a closer look at these scenarios, it's hard to tell. So the boards, there's going to be 8 of these. So these are tri-fold boards. going to have to get used to this new mechanism here. And they're just bigger hexes. They're, you know, looking at them, there are not as many hexes on here as there are on a regular ASL map. It's been years since I've seen one of these. They're definitely not the same size. I'm trying to think if they look like, if these look like the same size as the original maps. It's hard to say because those were folded twice, these are folded 3 times. But we have 8 of these, so this one's map H. This one's map G. Of course, I'm at the point now where I'm years behind with ASL, and map storage is becoming an ongoing question. Here is map E. So these are the hedgerow hell maps, and then you can see the hedgerows. And now we're getting into city boards here. But for a game, a scenario, I should say, that doesn't necessarily have a huge number of hexes that it takes place in, there's no really good reason not to play with a deluxe board, because the hexes are bigger, it's easier to handle things. So, you know, this was one of those things that kind of surprised me that MMP was doing. I'm still, you know, not sure what the demand was for this, although it made its pre-order number. It is, after all, an ASL product. But personally, what I'm more interested in seeing return are the scenarios, because as I recall, and again, this, you know, these are dim memories at this point, there's a fair number of quite decent scenarios in those 2 kits, and I'm very curious to take a closer look at them and maybe get some of them to the table. So what we have here is our very first weird sideways unboxing of Deluxe Advanced Squad Leader. Just came in the mail for me today. So I want to thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to the channel for more wargaming and other stuff, videos. Give me a like if you have enjoyed watching the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.